Let's get straight to it. There's a line and it feels like it's been crossed. In the world of rugby, we expect intense rivalries, we expect fierce competition, but what we don't expect are personal attacks that leave you questioning the basic decency of some individuals. This time, the target is none other than Rassie Erasmus, the mastermind behind the Springboks' incredible rise to dominance. And the ones throwing the punches? Former All Blacks fullback Israel Dagg and Kiwi pundit Scott Stevenson. During a recent episode of their Sansi radio show in New Zealand, these two didn't just criticize Erasmus's coaching decisions. Oh no, they went way beyond that. The conversation started with the upcoming Springboks versus All Blacks clash, focusing on Erasmus's decision to bring Eben Etzebeth into the matchday squad despite earlier reports that he was unfit to play. But what should have been a straightforward discussion quickly devolved into something far uglier. Stevenson didn't just question Erasmus's decisions, he attacked his appearance, likening him to fictional villains like Baron Vladimir Harkonnen from Dune and Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars. Can you believe that? Stevenson went there, and what's worse, he seems completely unaware, or simply doesn't care, that Erasmus has been battling an autoimmune disease, granulomatosis, since the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Here's what Stevenson had to say. What is it about Rassie? Does he treat the world like his own empire now? Seriously, is this what we're doing now? Criticizing a man for doing his job and leading his team to victory. But it didn't stop there. When discussing Etzebeth's inclusion in the squad, Stevenson added, if Etzebeth has been named on the bench a day after they said he's been ruled out with a knee injury, he was never really ruled out. That just doesn't happen. But there's a part of me that says, well played, sir, but there's another part of you that just gets sick. And then, the low blow. Is it just me, or is Rassie looking more like Baron Vladimir Harkonnen every day? Seriously, what's going on? How much Clippies and coke has he been on? This is beyond the pale. Attacking someone's appearance, especially someone who's battling a serious illness, is disgraceful. Stevenson didn't even bother to stop there, comparing Erasmus to Jabba the Hutt. Honestly, he's just sitting there and I said, he reminds me, and this is not a weight issue, but he had the countenance of Jabba the Hutt. This sort of man just holding court and knowing that he was the boss of his empire. This isn't just unprofessional, it's downright disrespectful. Stevenson also cast doubt on the legitimacy of Etzebeth's injury. There's no way, if you got an MCL injury that's ruled you out of a test, you're not starting on the bench. So the one thing I'd say about that is, it's one thing to play games, it's another to just straight out lie about your team list. I find that a little bit strange, especially given where sport is and the decisions people are making around sports. And I think, you know where I'm getting at for those listeners at home. It's just gaming the system. And, I know he's treated as king in South Africa, but, gee, he treads a line, doesn't he? This is beyond criticism. This is a blatant attack and it's sickening. So here's the question, where do we draw the line? Is this the kind of behavior we should tolerate in sports commentary? Or is it time to stand up and say, enough is enough? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on this unfolding controversy.